March 30th, 1974. A 2-hour movie airs on NBC. Nobody expects much. A family drama set in the 1870s, up against cop shows and sitcoms. The lead is a guy from a cancelled western. His television daughter is 9 years old, picked from nearly 500 girls who read for the part. The crew builds a little wooden house on a hill in Semi Valley, a creek below it, a dirt road to a one-room schoolhouse. And for the next 9 years, millions of Americans came home to that house every Monday night. One of the most beloved family rituals in television history. That was 52 years ago. The house is gone now. The set was demolished, but the show never stopped playing, not for a single year. And the people who lived inside it, some are still here. Some left us far too soon. The man who built the whole thing. He wrote it, he directed it, he starred in it, and he was gone before he turned 55. We'll get to him, but not yet, because this cast hides a few secrets. One of them quietly created a show you've definitely watched. Another one, barely 21 episodes, became one of the biggest movie stars of the last 20 years. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe. You don't want to miss what happened to this family. Let's start the countdown. Number 14. Number 14. And we're starting with a surprise. Season 7, 1981. A young boy shows up on set with his sister. They play orphans, the co-opers, whose parents are killed in a wagon accident. Charles and Caroline take them in. The boy has shaggy hair and a grin that doesn't quit. He stands next to Michael Landon between takes, barely reaching Pa's shoulder. 21 episodes, not even 2 full seasons. That boy grew up to be Jason Bateman. Arrested Development, Ozark, Zootopia, a Golden Globe, a directing Emmy. One of the most reliable leading men in Hollywood for the past 2 decades. He's 57 now, and he still credits Little House with shaping how he approaches every role he takes. 21 episodes. That's where it started. But Bateman wasn't the only child who landed on that prairie and left a mark on television history. Number 13 arrived 1 season later, and she was just 11. Braids, freckles, a face the camera loved before she'd finished her first scene. Shannen Doherty didn't audition for Little House on the Prairie. Michael Landon spotted her on another show, Father Murphy, and liked what he saw. He brought her in himself. Season 9. The series had a new title, Little House, A New Beginning. Laura and Nellie were grown, married. The show needed a young girl's voice again. Doherty became Jenny Wilder, Almanzo's orphaned niece, and for 18 episodes, she was exactly that voice. She left the Prairie and became Brenda Walsh on Beverly Hills, 90210. Then Prue Halliwell on Charmed, 2 of the most iconic roles of the 90s. Years later, she called Little House the best experience of her entire career. She called Landon her mentor. Shannen Doherty left us on July 13th, 2024. She was 53. Number 12 never became a household name, but something he built did. Quick question. Blind school teacher, 1978. Emmy-winning comedy creator, 2000. Same person. Think you know who? Linwood boomer played Adam Kendall, the man who married Mary Ingalls and taught at a school for the blind. Gentle, patient, wire-rimmed glasses. 35 episodes of quiet compassion. When the show ended, Boomer didn't chase another acting role. He walked off camera and picked up a pen, wrote for Night Court, produced Third Rock from the Sun, learned the machinery of television from the other side of the lens. Then, in January 2000, he created Malcolm in the Middle. Picture the shift. A hushed schoolroom, chalk dust, a blind man reading Braille with his students. Now, a single-camera kitchen, 5 boys screaming, a mother losing her mind, no laugh track, pure, beautiful chaos. Same creative mind. 2 completely different worlds. Malcolm ran 7 seasons. Boomer won the Emmy for writing the pilot himself. And just this past April, a 4-episode revival landed on Hulu. He's 70 now, building rooms full of noise from the man who once played silence. Number 11 came to the Prairie from a world even further away than a writer's room. 270 pounds, 14 Pro Bowls, a Hall of Fame ring. That's what Merlin Olsen carried with him when he walked onto the Little House set in 1977. He'd spent 15 years on a defensive line. Now he had to sit on a wooden porch and learn tenderness. Picture it. The largest man in Walnut Grove, folding himself into a rocking chair, speaking softly to his television son. The defensive tackle from the Los Angeles Rams, playing a farmer named Jonathan Garvey, who wouldn't raise his voice unless someone threatened his family. And somehow, the audience believed every second of it. One week he's on a sideline, reading offensive formations in front of 70,000 people. The next, he's sitting on a porch in Simi Valley, learning how to say goodnight to a 5-year-old. He did that for 4 seasons. Then he led his own Landon-created series, Father Murphy, and later became one of the most familiar voices in sports broadcasting. Merlin Olsen left us on March 11th, 2010. He was 69. Number 10 didn't come from football. He came from something much closer to home. He was adopted in real life. Then he played an adopted boy on television. The parallels weren't lost on anyone, least of all him. Matthew Laborteaux was 12 when he joined Little House as Albert Quinn Ingalls, a street orphan taken in by Charles. The role ran 4 seasons, and the connection between Laborteaux and Landon was instant. On set, Landon became a genuine mentor. Years later, Laborteaux would call him the biggest influence of his life. After the Prairie, he went somewhere unexpected, straight into Wes Craven's horror film Deadly Friend. Then he found a quieter, steadier second career in voice acting, lending his voice to animated films and video games for decades. He's 59 now. And in 1992, he and his brother Patrick co-founded the Youth Rescue Fund, helping at-risk children find stable ground. The boy who was adopted made sure other kids didn't get left behind. Speaking of doubles, 2 little girls shared one role for 8 years, and most of you never noticed. Did you? Here's how it worked. Lindsay Greenbush filmed the scene where Carrie fell into the well. Sydney Greenbush filmed the scene where Carrie climbed out. Same episode, same little girl on screen. 2 different children, 8 seasons, and the audience never blinked. The Greenbush twins were 3 years old when they started. 3. They alternated the role of Carrie Ingalls from the pilot through season 8, and for most viewers, there was only ever one girl on that prairie. After the show, their lives split. Sydney stepped away from the spotlight almost entirely. Lindsay stayed closer to the Little House world, attending reunions, keeping the memory alive. And in 2014, Lindsay married a man she'd first met on the Little House set back in 1977. She was 7 years old the day they met. They reconnected decades later through a mutual friend. The ceremony was held under the oak tree next to the Ingalls house. Number 8 was Pa's best friend, on screen and off. 2 men on a soundstage, stealing a golf cart between takes, racing it around the back lot like teenagers. A producer finally spots them, shuts it down. The 2 men don't care. They've been pulling stunts like this for years. Victor French played Isaiah Edwards, the grizzled, big-hearted mountain man who became the Ingalls family's closest friend. Off camera, the friendship was just as real. French and Michael Landon were inseparable. When French left Little House after season 3 to lead his own series, Carter Country, Landon brought him back. First as a guest, then as the co-lead on Highway to Heaven, where the 2 of them worked side by side for 5 more seasons. Highway to Heaven wrapped in 1989. Weeks later, Victor French left us. He was 54. 2 years after that, Landon followed him. Same age, 54. 2 best friends, same number at the end. The Prairie lost them both before it should have. Number 7 was nobody's friend in Walnut Grove. At least, that's what the script wanted you to think. The loudest woman in Walnut Grove never did a single interview in her final years. Katherine MacGregor played Harriet Olsen, the town gossip, the mercantile snob, the woman audiences loved to hate. For 9 full seasons, every room she entered got smaller. Every scene she chewed, she swallowed whole. Watch her behind that counter. The tilt of the glasses. The inspection of some poor farmer's wife from bonnet to boot. The judgment arriving before the woman even opens her mouth. Children yelled at their screens. Adults wrote angry letters to NBC. And MacGregor knew exactly what she was doing. She once said she looked for the humor in Harriet, that anyone that mean had to be a fool, so she played it as farce. It worked. After the show ended, MacGregor retired from the screen entirely. She turned to local children's theatre. In her later years, she embraced the Hindu faith and lived quietly, far from Hollywood. The loudest woman in Walnut Grove chose silence. Katherine MacGregor left us on November 13th, 2018. She was 93. Number 6 walked onto that set as a nervous young actor with one job: make Laura Ingalls fall in love. He's still telling her story. 1979. A 23-year-old actor walks onto the most watched family set on television. His assignment: play the man who marries Laura Ingalls. Simple enough, except that millions of viewers watched Laura grow up. She was theirs. And now this stranger was asking for her hand. Dean Butler became Almanzo Wilder in the show's 6th season, and the pressure was real. He had to earn the audience before he could earn Laura. His first day on set, Michael Landon pulled him aside. The conversation was short warm and specific. Here's how we work. Here's what matters. Here's the standard. Butler carried that conversation with him for the rest of his career. He'd later say there wasn't a single day as a producer when he didn't start by asking one question: what would Michael do? Because that's what happened to Almanzo. Butler stepped away from acting and became a documentary filmmaker. His subject, the real Laura Ingalls Wilder, not the character, the woman. He traveled to the real places behind the books, the town sites, the dugout claims, the one-room schoolhouses. He filmed what was left of them while they were still standing. In 2024, he published his memoir, Prairie Man, 70 now. Still following that trail. Number 5 also walked into an audition for Laura Ingalls. She didn't get that part. She got something better. She walked in to read for Laura, the sweet one, the hero. The producers looked at her and saw someone else entirely. Alison Arngrim became Nellie Olsen, the ringlets, the sneer, the single most despised child in Walnut Grove. She was 12 years old, and she owned that villain from day one. Watch the performance. The tilt of the chin. The look she'd give Laura, like something unpleasant stuck to her shoe. Children across America screamed at their television sets every week. Adults wrote furious letters, and Arngrim loved every second of it. She played Nellie for 7 seasons, left at the end of season 7, came back for a guest spot in the 9th. The role could have trapped her. It didn't. After the Prairie, Arngrim became an author and a comedian. Her memoir, Confessions of a Prairie Bitch, was a bestseller. She performs live shows that blend humor with honesty. She spent decades as an advocate for children. She's 64 now, still touring, still making rooms full of people laugh, still proud of the girl with the ringlets who made America furious. Number 4 earned something nobody else on this show ever received: an Emmy nomination for one of the most heartbreaking scenes the series ever filmed. Season 4. Mary Ingalls wakes up one morning. The room is bright. She blinks, and nothing comes into focus. It never will again. Melissa Sue Anderson played that scene, and the episodes surrounding it, with a rawness that stopped conversations in living rooms across the country. She was 15. The Television Academy nominated her for a Primetime Emmy. She remains the only cast member in the show's entire run to receive one. The blindness storyline could have slipped into melodrama. Anderson wouldn't let it. Watch her hands in those episodes, reaching for door frames, misjudging distances, learning a world that exists only in sound. She wasn't performing blindness. She was living inside it. After Mary's story evolved, marriage, teaching, mothering, Anderson kept working. The Equalizer. Murder, she wrote, a Veronica Mars film years later. But somewhere along the way, she made a choice that surprised everyone. She stepped away from Hollywood, became a Canadian citizen, and built a life far from the industry that raised her. Her memoir is called The Way I See It. The title says everything. She's 63 now, on her own terms, seeing clearly. 3 names left, and we're about to meet the woman who held the whole family together. 84 years old, walking her neighborhood every morning. Husband cooks dinner every night. There's a book on the shelf with her name on it. That's Karen Grassle in 2026. Here, upright, Ma. When she was cast as Caroline Ingalls in 1974, Grassle was a trained stage actress, classically schooled, Broadway-ready, stepping into a role that asked her to churn butter and hold a family together in a 2-room cabin. For 8 seasons, that's exactly what she did. She wasn't the one who got the big dramatic arcs. She didn't go blind. She didn't run the mercantile or start a brawl. She stood at the center of the frame and held the house still while everything around it moved. The cameras stopped in 1982. Grassle stepped back. Years passed, decades. Then, in 2021, at the age of 79, she published a memoir, Bright Lights, Prairie Dust. The same year, she starred in a feature film, Not to Forget. Not a bad third act for the woman who spent 8 years standing behind that stove. In 2024, Grassle joined her castmates for the show's 50th anniversary celebration. Asked if she had a favorite Ingalls child, she paused. Then, very simply, said, "No, classic Ma. 2 names remain." And the next one, well, she didn't just grow up on the prairie, she became it. Here's something most people don't know. The girl who played Laura Ingalls and the girl who played Darlene Connor on Roseanne grew up in the same house. They're sisters. Nobody saw that coming. Melissa Gilbert was adopted at birth. So was her brother, Jonathan, who played Willie Oleson on the same show. Her younger sister, Sarah, would go on to become Sarah Gilbert, one of the biggest names in 90s television. one household, two of the most iconic daughters on American television. Born May 8, 1964, Melissa Gilbert is 62 today. She appeared in nearly every one of the series' 204 episodes, more than any other cast member, including Michael Landon. More than anyone. She was 9 years old when she auditioned, one of hundreds of girls reading for the same part. The story goes that when she walked into that room, the search was over. Soon after, she was Laura. She played the role from age 9 to 19, and then she kept going. President of the Screen Actors Guild, youngest person to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, she was 20. The voice of Batgirl in Batman, the animated series. A contestant on Dancing with the Stars. An author, a brand founder. A guest star on When Calls the Heart as recently as 2025. She's never stopped working. She's never left the Prairie. Not really. One name left. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you already know what's coming. But you haven't heard it told like this. We said we'd get to him. It's time. His name wasn't always Michael Landon. It was Eugene Morris, or Owitz, a kid from New Jersey with a javelin arm and no particular plan. A torn shoulder ended the athletics. A phone book gave him a new name. An NBC gave him 30 years. Bonanza made him famous. Little House on the Prairie made him something more. He wasn't just the star. He created the show. He wrote the scripts. He directed 87 episodes. He decided what kind of set this would be. One where children were protected, where the work was serious, but the spaces between takes were full of laughter. After the Prairie, he built Highway to Heaven with Victor French. 3 decades, 3 shows, 1 network. The same man, playing versions of the same quiet goodness, every time. April, 1991, pancreatic cancer, already terminal by the time they found it. He had weeks, not years, and instead of retreating, he chose a stage. May 9th, 1991, The Tonight Show. Carson is behind the desk. The audience is quiet. Landon sits down, visibly thinner, visibly fighting, and speaks. Not through a publicist, not through a press release. Directly. To the country that had watched him raise a family every single week, season after season. He tells them what's happening. He tells them the tabloids are lying. He tells them he's going to fight. 7 weeks later, on July 1st, 1991, Michael Landon left us. He was 54. The Prairie went quiet, but it never went dark. 5 members of this cast have left us. Each one already has their place in this story. But before we go, one image. One each. The thing the reruns will always keep. Victor French, the laugh between takes, louder than anyone else on the lot. Merlin Olsen, the biggest man in town, rocking the smallest chair. Katherine MacGregor, the look over the glasses. You felt it before she said a word. Shannen Doherty, braids tied tight, ready for her close-up. And Michael Landon, standing on that hill, calling his television daughters home for supper. Every Monday night, for 9 years. They're all still there, press play, and they always will be. Little House on the Prairie first aired 52 years ago. It has never left the air, not once, not for a single year. Somewhere in the world, right now, a family is sitting down to watch it for the first time. And next week, July 9th, a brand new generation meets the Ingalls family on Netflix. New faces, new voices, the same Prairie. The actors who built this world gave us something no reboot can replace. They gave us a house that felt like ours. A father who felt like ours. A family we didn't want to leave. 14 faces. 52 years, still playing. If one of these stories surprised you or reminded you of something you'd almost forgotten, leave a comment. Tell us which member of this cast meant the most to you growing up. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We do this every week, and the next one might be the show you've been waiting for.